All right, of course. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to the true living power, no none else. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, and Bahashem, meaning the name of Yahushai being the true name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Hopefully you can hear me. You know, you got a couple, a little bit of commotion going on. Not as quiet as typical, but we outside with it. All right, we'll sit down. But I mean, this video shouldn't be too long, and I always say that, and it's like an hour. But that's how the spirit moves, right? As Yahweh said, the Holy Spirit is like the wind. Don't know where it's going, don't know where it's coming, man. You know? But, nonetheless, all right, this video, I want to basically talk about, nothing major, but how can the Gentiles keep a law? I guess that'll be the title, right? How can they keep a law they don't know? Question mark. How can they keep a law they don't know? All right, and I'm going to play this video I found in the Clock app. And nothing wrong with the video. You got, the brothers preaching the truth. And they're actually on a panel with a bunch of fucking Christians, which really, to be honest, I would just, when it comes to any of these Christians, man, at this point in time in 2026 AD, all the videos and information that's out there, you got to apply the Revelation 22 rule, all right? And I'll get it. Revelation 22. Yahweh Shai, what did he say? He that is fucking filthy. He didn't say, of course, like that. But, hey, man, these filthy ass niggas, let them be filthy, man. Like, fuck these niggas, man. Even the Apostle Paul, as a follower of Yahweh Shai that he was, he applied the rule, right? And what is it? I believe 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, he said, he that is ignorant, let him be ignorant still. All right? And most predominantly because you don't convert anyone. The Most High does that, right? Acts 16 and 14, man. There's a bunch of other precepts. You don't convert no goddamn body, man. You can preach all you want. You can read. You can match precept. You can apply precept upon precept in a way so perfect. The goddamn fish out the sea would grow legs, jump out the ocean, and start preaching with you, man. It don't matter how well you teach. It don't matter. If the Most High is blinding these individuals, you're not going to unblind them. As it is written, you cannot make that straight which the Lord made crooked. All right? You can't unblind these niggas. Not even Yahweh Shai could do it, man. He had the wicked ass, Israelites, Jews. If thou, the Son of God, tell us plainly. What did Yahweh Shai say? I've told you already, man. Yahweh Shai, the most perfect man, did miracles. Most of them not even written, man. That's John 20. Most of what Yahweh Shai did is not even written. Who could imagine these things? Right? And they still didn't believe on him. So what the fuck you think that means for us, man? Let these filthy niggas die in their filth, man, in their corruption, in their spiritual, moral, and doctrinal corruption. It's all going to result in their death. This is Revelation 22. All right? And I'm going to start at verse 10. All right? And he saith unto me, this should be, let me start verse 9, get some context. Right? All right, verse 8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. Right? And that angel was sent by Yahweh Shai himself. Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not. Right? So the angel's telling John, don't worship me. For I am your fellow servant, and of your brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High. See that? So, angels don't really take worship. What they say, because the word angel means messenger. They are messengers. That's it. And also angels in the heavens are actual brothers. They're brethren with the prophets predominantly, because the word prophet means spokesman, messenger, right? A prophet is an angel just on earth, right? 2 Ezra 1 verse 40, right? Most High lists off different prophets and says these are angels. Malachi, Zechariah, Obadiah. The prophets are angels is on earth. And, you got angels in the spiritual realm, man, that, don't have body, things of that nature. So, the angels and the prophets are actually brethren. Where we at? We have verse 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Right, so don't conceal it. Don't seal it, right? For the time is at hand. Here's the point. He that is unjust. Okay, so that was my mistake. I thought this was Yahweh Shai that said that it's the angel. But the angel was sent by Yahweh Shai, so essentially it is Yahweh Shai saying it anyway. Remember, angel is a messenger, man. A messenger is not coming with his own words. So essentially it is Yahweh Shai's words. But, just, to hit the exact marker. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. All right? So there we have it, man. So all these filthy ass niggas that are unjust and really unstable, man. They're really unstable. Let them die, man. Frick them. Frick them, man. See that? My God, man. You just had to fucking pull up this music, man. Might get hit with a copyright. But let me just play the video, man. I hope you can hear the fucking video, man.
Have ever been reputed as nothing, which have always had a reputation with God of being nothing. Go ahead. Have begun to be lords over us. And now, because we broke the commandments, they're lords over us. Last scripture, Isaiah 40:15. Come on. Because he said, thou hast said. Meaning it had to be written somewhere before Idris, which is Ezra. Read that to me. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a butt. Wait a minute, didn't Ezra say the same thing? The nations, the abundance of all nations outside the nation of Israel. God said they are what? Are as a drop of a bucket. They're as a drop of a bucket. Go ahead. And are counted as the small dust of the valley. All those billions of people on earth, God said like the small dust of the valley. 17. All nations. Oh, no, some nations. All nations. No, all nations that believe on Christ. All nations. All nations on this earth that are not Israelites. Go ahead. Before him are as nothing. Are as nothing. All nations on this earth, outside the nation of Israel.
Where does it say outside? Can you read the part where it says outside?
Are counted to him left.
Right, and then he asked a slick question talking about where does it say outside the nation of Israel? Are you See, I'm gonna try to calm down. Okay? Because this is why you get angry all the time. He said, where does it say all nations outside the nation of Israel? Nigga, jump up to verse 1. Damn, man, you niggas are slow. Jump up to Isaiah 40 and verse 1. The Most High is talking to Israel, stupid. He's speaking comfortable words to his people, which would be, all right, captive in Babylon. He's talking to Israel, dumbass. He's saying, look, all these other nations, right? Remember, we're his wife. He's speaking comforting words to his captive people. You know what it means to speak comforting words? It's like you with your woman. Look, baby, I don't care about all these other women. You're speaking comforting words to her. He's saying, look, all these other nations are, to me, less than nothing. Jump up to the first verse. Isaiah 40 and 1, because he was in Isaiah 40 and 15, right? And 17. Isaiah 40 and 1, speak ye comfortably to who? The world? To Jerusalem. The Lord is talking to the Israelites, telling them all the other nations, how can that count themselves, dumbass? All other nations are less than nothing. So you niggas just stupid, man. Hey, wait a minute. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. We read it, man. Now let's get Paul, when Paul said that. All right? He that is ignorant, like this dude, he's ignorant, man. Let him be ignorant still. So, again, you people are morons, man. Morons. It's 1 Corinthians 15. Okay. And we're going to read, I think it's actually chapter 14. Yeah, I think it was chapter 14. Yep. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 13. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. See that? Any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant, man. So fuck these dummies, man. He's gonna talk about where does it say outside. He's talking to Israel, stupid. Telling Israel all other nations are less than nothing. Which we see that, because as we're gonna deal, really what I want to shoot at, not the video. I'm just playing the video because this is the video that I found. Okay? I hope you can hear the first part, because you had the dude playing music out of his car. But, you know, I want to focus primarily on the comment that some asswipe left on the video. I'm going to play the rest of the video.
How the hell are you less than nothing? God being real disrespectful, and I love it. God said the other nations outside the nation of Israel are as nothing, meaning there is no salvation.
Right, he said they're equal to the drop of the water. If a drop of the water falls into a bucket, you do not care. It says less than nothing. How can you, like he asked, how can you be less than nothing? Right? And as we know, Malachi 3:6, the Lord does not change. So when you get to the New Testament, nothing changed. It's you Christians, man. And you apologists. And you whoever else. niggas that find themselves wielding the scriptures, but you were not put in responsibility of that. You got a lot of people that were not set up, that were not put in responsibility of wielding the word of the Most High, but they're wielding it anyway, wielding it deceitfully. Okay, a lot of death is getting ready to happen here in America and all over the world, man.
Can you read the part where it says?
All right, so that means it's you niggas erring and understanding. The Lord never changed.
Talking about them is the families of Israel. Galatians 3 and 8 is not talking about them. It's talking about the Israelites that went into captivity, started living like Gentiles.
I'd like Acts
the
10.
Corinthians, the Ephesians, the Galatians, the Romans. Started living Gentile customs, and that's how they
They gonna mention Acts 10. That's talking about Israelites. Easy.
became the Gentile.
All right, so that was the video I found the clock at. But with this video I want to focus on is the comment that was left. Right? Remember, they read 2nd Ezra 6. All nations are equal to spit, man. You know when you hawk up a nice green, you know. I'm sorry to, you know, reenact it. It's kind of nasty. You spit that motherfucker out. That's what they're equal. They're less than. Remember, they're less than nothing. You had this ass wipe, and I even jumped in this dude. I had to cuss this nigga out. I wasn't on my original page. All right, I wasn't on my original page. I was on another account. But that's riddle. That's me. Riddle me this. You know, as a Riddler. You know, I like Batman. But basically, King Kodesh. He writes, yes, they nothing. Right. The nations are nothing. But if they follow his laws, he would accept most of them. These brothers be lions. Talking about is no salvation for them. Cherry pick scripture. Right. So that's why I entitled the video, how could they keep a law they don't know? Okay. Now I replied, how can they follow a law? Because, you know, sometimes I can't help it, man. I'll be jumping in the comment. I ain't gonna front. Most of the time I try to stay out of the comment section because I promise you, if you talk, especially, because I would rather talk to you face to face, right? It's easy to be dishonest when, you know, you're on a comment board, you know? But sometimes I can't resist, man. But if you're in the comment section, getting angry is inevitable. Got a lot of people that's proud in their ignorance. I replied, how can they follow a law they don't know? Are you a clown? The answer is yes, LOL, right? Because he is a clown. That's why in the kingdom we will teach them the laws. Because they don't know the law. You must have forgot. He gave Israel the laws only because he didn't care about them beast nations. Right. Right. That's Deuteronomy 18. The Lord said, look, Israel, these other nasty-ass nations, primarily the Canaanites, all these laws I'm giving you, not to cut your skin and not to do this, that, not to let your child pass through the fire of Molech. That's what the nations were doing, man. But you, let me actually get that. But you, I require more of you. So he never gave a shit about these nations, man. Deuteronomy 18, not that verse. Let me see. Right. Deuteronomy 18:13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord your God. For these nations which thou shalt possess, the Canaanites primarily, right? That's who we were going to possess. Hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. Right, so they were on that witchcraft. But as for you, the Lord thy God hath not suffered you to do so. See that? He requires more of us. He separated us from the nations, right? Leviticus 20:24. He separated us, man. He consecrated us to be his chosen people above racism, the other nations. The word racism in etymology goes back to above. I kid you not. It's a Google search. Etymology of the word racist goes back to above, meaning you believe you're above another. You believe you're better than another. If you are Negro, Hispanic, Native American, you are better than the Chinese. You're better than the Japanese. You're better than the Korean. Especially the fucking woman. Right? They are beasts. All right? You have to start looking at it that way. These nations, you know, we've been beat down for a long time because, you know, we've been in the land of our captivity for a long time. But when your eyes aren't lighting to this truth, you look at these other nations like, they look at you like you're the beast. No, you're the beast. I mean, think about it. These niggas eat cats and dogs. A lot of our people, you know, they eat that shit with them, man, because they're in a beast state of mind, too. Remember, this dude mentioned Acts 10, right? In the video, he mentioned Acts 10. Why do you think Peter saw, you know, a vessel, which that vessel was Israel, Hosea 8:8, dummy? Why do you think Peter saw a vessel with a bunch of animals on it? Because these Israelites, these scattered Israelites, scattered north, east, west, and south, the four corners of the earth, were in a beast state of mind. They were in impure state of mind, living like the nations around them, predominantly the Greeks, because that was who was in the ruling power before the Romans. And the Romans adopted a lot of Greek customs. They had a lot of, not just Israelites, Moabites, especially Canaanites, that were Greeks by, their way of life. Okay, so he said, yes, the nations are nothing, but if they follow his laws, he would accept most of them. That's nowhere in the scriptures. Nowhere in the scriptures, man. And if that's the case, why is every single Edomite going to be exterminated, man, after their 1,000-year slavery? Obadiah 1:18. You don't know what you're talking about. Now let's get Psalms. Let's get some precepts. They don't even know the law, dummy. Psalm 47 in the NIV. Okay. Psalm 147. Now, how can they keep a law they don't know? They don't know the law. Because it was only given to Israel, because the Lord never cared about them. They're not going to receive the law until the kingdom is established. And we are established as a nation again. 12 tribes are ruling again under David. David under Yahushua under the Most High. And we are made priests. And then we will teach them the laws. Okay? A lot of dumbasses don't even know why Revelation 5, Revelation 20 says you shall be priests. What the fuck does a priest do? Teach. We're going to teach the nations the law. So how can you can't even be a priest unless you're an Israelite, as out of the mouth of Paul, right? So how is Revelation 5 and 10 and 9 talking about everybody? Stupid. Don't make sense. And again, how are they going to be priests teaching the law? They don't know the law. Which is why we got to teach them. But those are two jabs, uppercuts, and slices on Revelation 5 and 9 and 10 talking about all nations. That's stupid, man. Psalm 147:19. He, the Most High, has revealed his word to Jacob, his laws and decrees to Israel. He has done this for no other nation. They do not know his laws. Praise Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So how the nation is going to keep a law they don't know? And even Paul himself, let's go to Romans 3. He understood that, as he said it himself in Romans 3. What advantage then is there in being a Jew? Is the NIV. Or what value is there in circumcision, right? The circumcision were the Jews. Those who grew up in the law, statutes, commandments. They were called the circumcision in the New Testament. Those who grew up as Gentiles and heathen, Israelites that grew up as Gentiles and heathen, scattered around the world, that's how they grew up. They were called the uncircumcision. Paul was sent to the uncircumcision, the Israelite foreigners. So what advantage is it in being an Israelite? Much in every way. First of all, the Jews have been entrusted with the very words of God. Now, if you read it in the KJV, it says, Paul says the oracles. Now, if you go into the Greek word for oracles, okay, I'll just do it for extra edification. It means that pertains to the Mosaic law. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. So what advantage is there being an Israelite? You have the laws. Let's go into the Greek word for oracles, which you Christians pick and choose when you want to go in Greek. You fucking pussies, man. Logion. Logion. In the New Testament, the words of utterance of God, of the contents of the Mosaic law. The law was on, so Paul's saying out of his own mouth, the law was only given to Israel. He didn't just say it in Romans 3. He also said it in Romans 9. Romans 9 and 3. If I could wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So these are literal DNA Israelites, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth, right? What does the word pertaineth mean? To whom belong. So all these things belong to the Israelites by DNA. That's destroys spiritual Israel doctrine. And the adoption and the glory, right? The adoption. You can't be a son of God unless you're an Israelite. The glory, you're not going to have rule in the kingdom unless you're an Israelite. And the covenants, plural, the old and the new, can't take hold unless you're an Israelite. Here's the point. And the giving of the law. The law was only given to Israelites by the flesh. DNA. You fucking sick morons. You niggas are sick, man. You Christians are sick. And there's mad other precepts, man. At Psalm 75 and 8. 2nd Ezra 9 and 30 and 31. 2nd Ezra 5. It should be around verse 26, 25. The Lord chose one people, and unto that one people he gave a law. 2nd Ezra 3:19. All over. Leviticus 26, 46. What is it? Numbers, I believe it's 36 and 19. Maybe. The law, statute, and nigga, this precept's proven the heathen don't know the law, dummy. See, that's why I love this book, man, this Bible, man. The spirit of Yahushua comes in, the entire volume of the book. I can go all over the Bible to prove whatever point it may be. So let's go all over the Bible and prove the nations don't know the law. Micah 4 and 11. Now also many nations are gathered against you, Right, many nations are gathered against Israel that say, let her be defiled, let our eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. Why don't these nations understand the counsel of the Lord? The Lord does not give his wisdom to the people of any other nation, man. That's why. He shall gather them as sheaves into the floor. Let's get that. Tobit 4:19, the GNT. This is Tobit chapter 4:19 in the GNT. Take advantage of every opportunity to praise the Lord your God. Ask him to make you prosper in whatever you set out to do. We got to do that today, right? He does not give his wisdom to the people of any other nation. He is the source of all good things, but he can also destroy you and bring you to certain death if he wishes. Remember all my instructions. Don't forget them from 1 minute. Okay? That's why they don't understand his counsel. Micah 4 and 12 or 11. See that? Let's get another one. Baruch chapter 4 verse 2 in the GNT. Right? Baruch chapter 4. All right? Let's start at verse 1. Wisdom is the book of God's commandments, the law that will last forever. All who hold on to her, it's hard to see because the sun's in my screen, but those who abandon her will die. Turn to wisdom, people of Israel, and take hold of her. Make your way toward the splendor of her light. Why only the people of Israel? We're going to get Ecclesiastes 24. The Lord gave wisdom a commandment, right? Wisdom was compared to a woman. He gave her a commandment. Only live in Israel. We're going to grab that. But let's read this. Baruch 4:3 in the GNT. Do not surrender our glorious privileges. Like what? Wisdom, the law, statutes, commandments, the words of the Most High. Do not surrender our glorious privileges to any other people. Because it wasn't given to them, man. How happy are we? How happy we are, people of Israel. We have the advantage of knowing what is pleasing to God because it wasn't given to other nations. Dumbass. Now let's get 2 Ezra 3:36. And I'm going to grab... See, I can go all over the Bible. They don't know the laws or the decrees of the Lord, which is why we have to teach them in the kingdom. Dumbass. 2 Ezra 3, verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept your precepts, but not the heathen. Why have not the heathen kept the precepts? They were not given the law. Esther chapter 3, verse 8. Haman, an Edomite, said out his own mouth, these Jews have laws that are different to ours. Esther 3:8. Our laws are different than the rest of these beast nations. The Chinese, the Japanese, the Arab, they're beast. Dog ass niggas, man. And don't be, and they're all idolaters. So the letter of Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 68 or verse 62. Animals are better than idols, man. All you niggas that's in your Muslim religion and that Christianity crap or whatever else, Buddha, I don't give a shit. You're a dog, nigga. And I'll tell you that to your face. I promise you. Boldly, too. Let's get Ecclesiastes 24. Most High gave wisdom a commandment to only live in Israel. That's why these nations turn to wisdom, O people of Israel, as you read in Baruch 4. Don't surrender our glorious privileges to these beast-ass nations. Ecclesiastes 24, verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. See that? In the midst of her, who's her people, man? Those that cling on to her. Because not everybody has wisdom. Not every Israelite has wisdom, man. In the congregation of the Most High, she shall open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the Most High. This is wisdom speaking, third person, right? And covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep. In the waves of the sea, and in all the earth, and in every people and nation I got a possession. With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide. So the creator of all things, that's the Most High Yahweh, right, gave me a commandment. What was the commandment? The Lord gave wisdom. And he that made me called my tabernacle to rest, and said, let your dwelling, let your living be in Jacob, and your inheritance in Israel. Ooh, you see that? He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle I served before him, so was I, wisdom, established in Zion. Jerusalem is Zion, man. Parched place. Likewise, in the beloved city, that's Jerusalem, he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. Not in the world. In Jerusalem was my power. You see that? So it's like, let's jump down to verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob, the 12 tribes. See that? So the law was only given to the 12 tribes. The Most High commanded wisdom to only live in Jacob. Her strength, her glory is in Israel. Right? Jerusalem, Jacob. So primarily verses 8 and verses 11 is the point. You see? So that's why in Baruch 4, don't surrender our privileges to these dog-ass niggas. They don't got the law. They don't understand the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Which is why we're going to teach these beast-ass niggas in the kingdom, man. Because we're going to be priests. All right? And a priest is a mediator. Let's go to Micah 4. Even under the old covenant, man. Priests are mediators between men and the Most High. Meaning, if you want to go to the Most High, you have to go through the priest. Yahushai is our high priest passed onto the heavens, man. Paul talked heavily about that in Hebrews. Right? He's our high priest passed to the heavens, man. So he's our new mediator. All right, he's between mediator in the Greek mesethes. One comes between two and make them friendly again. Under the old covenant, you had the high priest, priest, but you can only be a direct descendant of Aaron from the tribe of Levi to be a priest, and especially a high priest. Okay, you can only be that from a direct descendant of Aaron from the tribe of Levi. They were mediators between the Most High and men, but in the kingdom, as Paul talked about, the priesthood changed. Right, Hebrews 7, the priesthood changed. Now in the kingdom, we're all men from every tribe, right? Not literally all men, primarily 144,000, which are 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. Not just the tribe of Levi, we're all going to be priests, all right? And I said we're all. I don't know who the hell I am. I don't care. I'm a door holder in the kingdom. I'll be that, as you read in Psalms. I believe it's like 87, maybe. No, it's not 87. It's like 80, maybe like 84. I'll be grateful to just be a door holder in the tabernacle of the Lord, man. But it's Micah 4 and 5. For all people will walk, everyone in the name of his God. And we will, and this is in the kingdom when you start the first verse. And we will walk in the name of the Lord, Yahweh, all caps, our God forever and ever. Now mind you, right? In the law, which we're going to teach the nation, it says, thou shalt have no other God before me. Zechariah 14 and 9, right? There's not going to be no idolatry in the kingdom of heaven. There's going to be one God. Okay? So what the hell is this talking about? All people, all the other nations will walk everyone in the name of his God. Remember, the Israelite man is a God in a fallen state. We will be raised up back to our godly status. When Yahushua appears, which Yahushua is a God, we're going to be like him, right? 1 John 3:2. So we're going to be gods, and we're going to be gods over the heathen. We're going to be their gods. We're going to be their mediator between. They're going to be serving the Most High. Niggas read. We never said they're not going to serve. They're going to be serving the Most High, but they're still going to be slaves in chains, getting their ass whipped, oppressed, and vexed the same way they vexed us. As you have done, it shall be done unto you. Obadiah 1:15. Right? But, yeah, so we're going to be their God. A priest is likened unto a God, man. In a certain extent, to a certain context. See what I'm saying? Depending on the context, of course. Judges are equivalent to gods as well. When you go back to Exodus 22, the law, right? God can be a title for a man. That's God-like. Just like Yahushua, he's God-like. We're going to be like Yahushua. 1 John 3:2, we're going to be God-like. Of course, there's still a hierarchy. We're under Yahushua, which we're also under David. David under Yahushua, but we're all going to be God-like. Zechariah 12 and 8 or 9, the house of David, right? Which primarily are the descendants of David, But, the house of David as a whole will be as God, So we're going to be these nations' God, man. They're going to worship the Most High, but through us. The same way we worship Yahweh through his son Yahushua, because he's the doorway. These other nations, these Chinese, Arabs, Moab, Japanese, or whoever, they're going to worship the Most High through us, They're going to worship the Most High and Yahushua through us. That we're going to be their God. All people will walk, everyone in the name of his God. And we will walk in the name of the Lord, our God. We're going to walk in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So, how can they keep a law They don't know. I'm going to close out there, man. I'm going to close out there. So they don't know the law, you moron. That's how you know when you read Isaiah 56. When the Lord says, wow, that's a precept. Precept upon precept, right? Isaiah 56, right? Let's get that and then let's close out. Most High is basically, you know, giving the rewards for obedience, right? He was saying, look, unto the stranger or the eunuch that does that thing that's, let me get that, right? This is Isaiah 56 and 3. I'm going to get to the point, verse 4. For thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs, you know what that is? You know, you do got castrated men out there. They can still repent too. That keep my Sabbaths, strike one. The Sabbath was a covenant the Lord made between himself and Israel only. Exodus 31, verse 8 and on down. And choose the things that please me. Strike two. This is how you know this eunuch would have to be an Israelite. We just came from Baruch 4, right? Go back to Baruch 4 and read verse 4 in the KJV. O Israel, happy are we. We already read the whole thing. All things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us, not the other nations. Don't surrender our privileges to the other nations, man. This eunuch would have to be an Israelite and take hold of my covenant. Right, he's an Israelite. See? So I'm gonna close out there. How can they keep a law they don't know? So just shut the fuck up, man. Just shut your bitch ass up, man. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Lord willing you edified. Lord willing these nations were only created to serve Israel. That's it. Lord willing you see me in the next one, man. Shalom.